Andrew Yang is pushing for a fourth stimulus check and saying that the $3.5 trillion human infrastructure package should be split up among all Americans so that everybody gets at least $10,000. I'll give you more details on what he said. Republican Senator Josh Hawley is pushing for a $6,000 and $12,000 stimulus check. I'll give you the details on that. We'll explore this article right here, how some Americans got up to $35,100 in stimulus money. Here's how. And when it comes to the infrastructure packages, Nancy Pelosi is holding the bipartisan infrastructure package hostage, which is the part one. Meanwhile, House moderates are holding the human infrastructure $3.5 trillion package hostage. So we have a serious hostage situation when it comes to infrastructure, and it looks like the IRS can give interest on any late tax refunds. So Nancy Pelosi breaks bad news to moderates: no vote on infrastructure this month. Basically saying, if you're not going to present the $3.5 trillion human infrastructure package, there will be no vote on the bipartisan infrastructure package. Now, moderates respond to this, saying that moderates may try to force Nancy Pelosi to pass the $1 trillion infrastructure bill by holding $3.5 trillion budget resolution hostage. So basically saying we're going to hold each other's bill hostage unless either one of them goes through. What it comes down to is Congress just needs to get to work and complete these bills so that everything could pass and everybody's happy. So when it comes to that, it looks like that we're going to have some more waiting to do, and it looks like with the House coming back on August 23rd, the issues may be solved by then. It may not, but we're going to find out what's going on with this hostage situation. Here's how. So with a family with 2 parents and 5 kids, they were able to get up to $35,100. So the way the math breaks out, when it comes to stimulus checks, with the first stimulus check, it was $1,200 per adult, $500 per dependent. With the second stimulus check, it was $600 per adult, $600 per dependent. When it was with the third stimulus check, $1,400 per adult, $1,400 per dependent. And then when it comes to child tax credits, it's $3,600 for any kid under 6, $3,000 for any kid age 6 to 17. So if we do the math there, when it comes to just stimulus checks for adults, adults got $6,400. When it comes to stimulus checks for the kids as dependents, they got $12,500. That's a lot of money right there. When it comes to the 2 kids age under 6, they got $7,200 in the child tax credit, or about to get it coming up. And then when it comes to kids over 6 to 17, they got $9,000 right there. So if you add all those numbers up, it comes out to $35,100, which is a lot of money. That's crazy. So for two parents with 5 kids, I'm sure bills are really expensive, but $35,000, that could really help out a family a lot. Do you think people without families should get a similar amount of money, a little less, a little more? Speaking of families and parents and getting money, so Republican Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri announces 15 amendments to budget, calls to pass parent tax credit, and hire 100,000 new police and reopen schools. So this is what's going on with that $3.5 trillion budget resolution. Anybody, Republicans, Democrats, can add whatever amendments they want to it. It doesn't mean that it's going to pass, but this is what they're calling for. So let's just focus on the parent tax credit, since that's stimulus related. If we look at this article right here, so Missouri Senator Josh Hawley's bill would give it $6,000 tax credit for single parents, $12,000 credit for married couples. So the way that this would work is for households with children under the age of 13, with the parent tax credit, which is what it's called, it would provide $6,000 for single parents, $12,000 for married parents who filed jointly on tax return. The requirements for this would be at least 20 hours of work per week, or earned $7,540 for the entire year. Same requirement for either a single parent or married parent, but if you're single, you get $6,000. If you're married, you get $12,000. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. Do you think this will help families? Is this a good idea, bad idea? Should single people without kids get similar money as well? Let me know your thoughts on that. Next, let's talk about this tweet from Andrew Yang. He said this: I love a lot of what is being considered in the $3.5 trillion social infrastructure bill, but cash relief should be a bigger part of the bill. $3.5 trillion is enough to give everyone in the country $10,000 plus. which would solve a lot of problems. So if you're not familiar, Andrew Yang was a presidential candidate. He's a big proponent of universal basic income. But let me know your thoughts on this. So that $3.5 trillion bill, there's around 330 million Americans, meaning that everybody would get at least $10,000. So 10,000 times 330 million equals $3.3 trillion. Is this a good idea, bad idea? Should this money be used for other programs? Should it be given to the people? Should $10,000 be split up among 5 months and is $2,000 per month? Let me know your thoughts on what you think about that. He also tweeted, if Democrats want a lot of grateful voters and recognition, they should include a fourth cash relief check, would make the whole thing more popular and harder to argue against. So a fourth cash relief check, also known as a fourth stimulus check, I agree. I think a lot more people would be interested in these packages if a fourth stimulus check was included. We're kind of heading in the direction of lockdowns. A fourth stimulus check is currently not in the package at the moment, but I feel like if lockdowns continue, or at least not lockdowns, but the way things are going where mask mandates, the hospitals are being filled up, I get it from. Next, let's talk about what's going on with tax returns. So IRS reports a backlog of 35 million unprocessed tax returns. This just came out August 11th, so it's still at 35 million, which is insane. That's a lot of people. So if you did not receive your tax return, let me know down in the comments below if you did receive your tax return or your tax refund. Let me know if you got any interest paid on it, because I came across this article as well saying, yes, the IRS pays interest on late tax refunds. So according to this article explaining how someone actually got interest paid on a late tax refund, here's more details in this video right here.
All new at 6, could the IRS pay you for its mistake?
Well, that's a question 10 TV got from a viewer. And tonight, Verify reporter Lindsay Mills is getting you that answer.
We recently got this message from a viewer. I have patiently been waiting for my tax refund. As of today, I have not received my refund or any notifications as to when I may expect it. Will the government pay interest on my refund? Why are no updates being given to people owed their money? Our sources are the IRS and Stephen Rossman, a CPA and shareholder at a Philadelphia-based accounting firm focusing on taxation.
Typically, they process the returns at the IRS in 21 days and get the refund out in 21 days if it's electronically filed.
According to its website, other services seeing delays include live phone support, answering mail from taxpayers, and processing tax returns filed on paper. Even for Rossman, it took longer than usual for his son to receive his return this year.
We were kind of scratching our heads. It was July, and just last week he sent me a text that he got his refund, and I told him the amount that we had that was on his tax return, and he said he got $15 more. So
that $15. Interest paid for the late refund. According to the IRS, interest is paid on late refunds.
The IRS is required to pay interest on a refund if it's longer than the 45 statutory day period.
So we can verify, yes, the IRS will pay interest on late payments.
So I'm really curious if anybody has received anything more than their tax refund, like interest from the IRS. I think they definitely should pay interest because of how long they've taken to pay people back. 35 million people waiting for money back, and the IRS has just taken their sweet time. I understand there's a lot of issues going on with the pandemic and labor shortages, but still, if money is being owed to the IRS puts people in jail. So if the IRS owes people money, they should at least pay interest back. Let me know your thoughts on that. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Anthony Pearl asks, will the child tax credit payments continue in 2022? So at this point, nothing is official yet. All we know so far is that it's going to go until January, or the last payment will be December 15th. Then you're going to get the other half of that child tax